Cousteau! Oh Gott, wir stürzen ab! Mayday! Mayday! We are going down!
She thought she would die after the plane crash, until a gorilla appeared and changed everything. A burning helicopter plummeted into the Congo jungle like a shattered meteor, leaving only one survivor. Dr. Evelyn Hart, an American biologist, who awoke amidst the ashes to find she was not alone. A massive gorilla stood towering before her, its mysterious gaze as if it wanted to devour her. The fateful flight carrying an international research team to survey the gorilla ecosystem in the Ituri forest suddenly turned into a disaster when a flock of giant birds collided with the engine midair. The roaring engine was drowned out by horrifying screeching sounds. The helicopter swayed out of control, then plummeted freely into the dense forest canopy, like a blade slicing through space. It crashed into a massive ancient tree. The fuselage shattered, metal bent like paper, before erupting into a blazing fireball. The explosion so powerful it sent the panicked bird scattering across the sky. Before we continue this thrilling and emotional journey, don't forget to subscribe to the Animal Kisa channel and turn on notifications. It really helps us stay motivated to bring you more amazing rescue stories. Your support means everything to us. Let's explore the wild world together. From the wreckage, thick black smoke billowed like venomous snakes. The acrid smell of burning fuel mixed with the crackling of dry leaves being consumed by fire. Evelyn, 40 years old, her blonde hair matted with blood and sweat, was thrown from the aircraft just before the flames engulfed everything. Her body slammed hard onto the damp ground, her left leg grotesquely bent, blood from gashes on her face dripping in crimson streaks. The pain was excruciating, as if every fiber of her being was being torn apart. She coughed violently, her trembling hands clutching the earth as she crawled, desperately trying to escape the scorching heat behind her. Every centimeter was a battle. Bones cracking, shards of metal from the fuel tank's secondary explosion whizzing past her head, missing by mere inches. Just when she thought she had crossed the threshold of life and death, an unexpected sound echoed from afar. The violent rustling of leaves, as if something enormous was tearing through the jungle toward her. Through eyes blurred by smoke and tears, Evelyn saw a massive figure emerging from the mist. A silverback gorilla, its black fur gleaming, muscles rippling, its sharp eyes fixed directly on her. It approached, raising its huge hand, but instead of attacking, the creature stopped, emitting a deep, mysterious growl. In that moment, Evelyn realized this being could be the key to surviving in this deadly forest, or a harbinger of a new nightmare. Surviving in the labyrinth of the jungle. Evelyn awoke amidst the ruins, her hands trembling as she sifted through the charred metal fragments, her heart sinking as she realized all communication devices, radio, satellite phone, had been reduced to ashes. There was no way to call for help. She was trapped in the heart of the Congo forest, where death lurked behind every leaf. The pain from her leg wound made her grit her teeth. If not treated immediately, infection would kill her before any wild animal could. Recalling her survival training, Evelyn tore a piece of her clothing and tightly bound it around the bleeding gash. She scanned her surroundings and spotted a plant with leaves known for their natural antiseptic properties. Chewing the leaves into a pulp, she applied it to her wound, enduring the sharp, tearing pain without stopping. After bandaging her wound, her parched throat reminded her that water was the next essential. She had to find it, but in this forest, every step could be a trap. Evelyn limped forward, her ears alert for any sound. She knew animals often led to water sources, so she looked for tracks on the ground. A faint trail appeared, and she followed it, despite the pain in her leg and the startling noises around her. Once, she nearly stepped on a venomous snake hidden under the dry leaves, her heart pounding as it slithered away. After nearly an hour of struggling, the sound of trickling water was like a miracle. Evelyn rushed to it, kneeling by the small stream, scooping up water and drinking greedily, the cool sensation flooding her body. But her joy was short-lived. The sun was setting and darkness brought predators. She hurried back, retrieving a scorched piece of parachute fabric from the wreckage. With her remaining strength, Evelyn set up a makeshift tent, draping the fabric over a tree branch and securing it with vines. As night fell, the forest came alive. The incessant chirping of insects, the rustling of leaves, and distant roars. Evelyn huddled inside the tent, clutching a sharp stick, despair enveloping her like the darkness. Then, all sound suddenly ceased. Through a gap in the tent, she saw two glowing spots in the bushes, the eyes of the black panther, silently watching, making her blood run cold. Evelyn held her breath, not daring to move. She knew one wrong move could provoke the panther to attack. Time seemed to stand still, only the pounding of her heart audible. But then, the panther turned away, melting into the darkness. Evelyn exhaled shakily, fear still clinging to her. The first night in the forest passed anxiety, and she knew that to survive, she would have to face many more challenges. The deadly encounter, the panther attacks. The next day, Evelyn returned to the stream, water bottle in hand, still haunted by the previous day's events. The water trickled, sunlight sparkling on its surface, creating a deceptive sense of peace. She knelt down, cautiously scanning her surroundings, but the forest was eerily silent. Suddenly, a sharp noise came from behind. Leaves being crushed. Before Evelyn could react, a black shadow lunged from the bushes. The black panther, its golden eyes blazing like fire, claws glinting in the air. It pounced, knocking her to the stream bank. Her scream cut short as her body hit the ground hard. Pain spread through her body. Evelyn struggled, but the panther's claws were deeply embedded in her shoulder. Blood flowed into the clear stream. The beast's breath was hot and foul on her face. Evelyn's vision blurred, her consciousness slipping away into darkness. At that moment, a thunderous roar echoed, overpowering the panther's snarls. A sound not of human origin, but of something stronger, more terrifying. From deep within the forest, Baku, the massive silverback gorilla, charged like a whirlwind. Its glossy black fur shone in the sunlight, its eyes blazing with fury. It roared, the sound shaking the ground, then lunged at the panther, grabbing the beast and hurling it away from Evelyn. The panther snarled back, retreating to prepare for another attack. But Baku stood firm. It beat its chest in a display of dominance, its enormous body like a living mountain, ready for battle. The battle erupted fiercely. Baku and the panther clashed, claws and fists colliding with sparks. The panther was lightning fast, slashing repeatedly at Baku, but the gorilla retaliated with devastating punches, snapping a nearby sapling in two. Dust and debris filled the air, obscuring the scene. Amidst the chaos, the panther leaped onto Baku's back, sinking its teeth into his shoulder, blood gushing like a fountain. Baku roared in pain, but quickly turned, seizing the panther and slamming it to the ground. The panther yelped in agony, but sprang up again, lunging to bite Baku's leg. The silent companionship. The gorilla leads away. Evelyn woke up by the stream, her body aching but the wound on her shoulder less painful. She glanced around and spotted Baku, the massive gorilla, sitting nearby, its deep eyes fixed on her. A strange realization hit her. Baku didn't act like a typical wild gorilla. It didn't growl or wander off. Instead, it seemed to be waiting for her. The intelligence in its gaze sent a shiver down her spine. Could this really just be an animal? Baku rose slowly and approached her. It bent down, using its long nails to gently peel the old herbal bandage from her shoulder, then gathered a fresh handful of leaves from a nearby bush. With skilled movements, it chewed the leaves into a paste and pressed them onto Evelyn's wound, like a seasoned healer. A cool sensation spread across her skin, easing the pain instantly. Evelyn stared at Baku, awestruck by its awareness. It didn't just know how to help. It understood exactly what she needed. Suddenly, Baku thumped its chest, the deep sound reverberating through the forest, and pointed into the distance, motioning for Evelyn to follow. She hesitated, but the gorilla's steady, determined look convinced her to trust it. Their journey began. Baku led the way, its incredible strength clearing the path, pushing aside small trees and parting thick foliage with its huge hands. Evelyn limped behind, her legs weak but buoyed by Baku's presence. When they reached a rushing stream, Baku stepped in without pause and turned back, offering it hand. Evelyn grabbed its sturdy arm, feeling its power and reassurance. It guided her across, each step firm and sure, keeping her safe from the current. Later, on a stretch of path littered with sharp rocks, Baku crouched low and signaled for her to climb onto its back. Surprised but willing, she complied, and Baku carried her over the treacherous ground with the skill of an expert guide. They pressed on in silence, the rustle of wind and their footsteps weaving together. Through every gesture, Evelyn felt an odd bond growing with Baku, a wordless companion amid the perilous forest. Yet a question lingered in her mind. Where was Baku taking her? Was it to safety, or just the start of another trial? Evelyn and Baku crossed a narrow mountain gorge, steep cliffs towering around them, the air thick with the whistle of wind through sparse trees. High above, an African rock python, over 6 meters long, its granite-mottled body blending with the stone, watched in silence, its icy eyes locked onto the two intruders. As Evelyn stepped over a large rock, the crunch of dry leaves broke the quiet. But before she could react, the python shot down like an arrow. In an instant, its coils wrapped tightly around her, the muscular rings crushing her body. Her breath was squeezed out, her chest burning, as if it might burst under the immense pressure. She clawed at the smooth scales, but her strength faded fast. Her mouth opened, gasping for air, though only a faint groan escaped. Her vision dimmed, darkness creeping in, threatening to pull her under. Baku, ahead on the path, caught the strange sound. It spun around, its eyes flaring red as it saw Evelyn trapped, her body limp in the python's grip. A furious roar erupted from Baku, drowning out the wind as it echoed through the gorge. Without a second's hesitation, it charged, its massive hands seizing the python and wrenching off Evelyn with raw power. But the snake was relentless. It twisted and coiled around Baku, squeezing its chest in a new, brutal grip. Baku snarled, its breathing ragged, yet it fought on, blood seeping from gashes as it tore at the python's scales with its teeth. The struggle raged in the tight space, rocks tumbling from the cliffs as they battled. Evelyn, barely conscious, grabbed a jagged stone and stabbed it into Python's side. The creature hissed in agony but held fast. In a final, desperate surge, Baku gathered its strength, clutched the python tight, and rolled down the gorge, dragging Evelyn along. They crashed into an icy pool, water splashing wildly. Pinned beneath Baku's weight against the rocks, the python's coils slackened. After minutes of thrashing, the exhausted snake slithered away into the forest depths. Covered in blood and wounds, Baku staggered to Evelyn's side. She lay there, her breathing shallow, lips pale. Gently, it lifted her, its large hand brushing her face, eyes brimming with worry. Evelyn's eyelids fluttered open, meeting Baku's loyal stare, overwhelmed by the miracle of survival it had given her once more. After the python's attack, Evelyn's strength waned. A fierce fever set in, her body burning, her legs trembling too much to carry her. Baku, though weary itself, refused to leave her. It knelt, letting her lean against its back, then hoisted her up and trudged through the rugged forest trails. For 2 grueling days, each of Baku's steps was heavy but unwavering, a marvel in the wilderness. At last, they reached a Congolese military base, 20 kilometers from the forest's edge. The guards froze, stunned to see a giant gorilla, its fur matted with blood, carrying an injured woman. Rifles snapped up, shouts of alarm ringing out. With her fading strength, Evelyn rasped, "It saved me! Don't shoot!" After a tense pause, the guards lowered their weapons and rushed her to the medical station. Baku stood still, watching as she was laid on a stretcher and carried inside. When the station's door shut, it turned slowly and slipped back into the forest, its form vanishing into mist like a quiet hero stepping out of the tale. Evelyn awoke in the field hospital, the stark white light piercing her heavy lids. The steady beep of the heart monitor confirmed she'd survived the forest nightmare. But as her memories returned, Baku's image, the giant gorilla with its soulful eyes, flooded her mind. She owed it her life, and fear for its fate gripped her heart. Struggling to sit up despite the pain, she clutched the nurse's hand. "I need the commander now," she whispered. When he arrived, Evelyn met his gaze, her voice shaky but firm. "Don't hunt it. That gorilla saved me. It's no threat. The commander folded his arms, his expression stern. Jungle fever, likely hallucinations. A gorilla that smart? Ridiculous. Tears streamed down her face as she shook her head. It fought off a panther, snapped a python's hold to protect me. Believe me, it's extraordinary. Later, recovered, Evelyn faced a crowd of curious reporters. She shared her story, the helicopter crash, the brutal survival, Baku's sacrifices. But when she spoke of the panther and python battles, snickers and doubtful looks rippled through the room. Survival delusions, one muttered. She needs a shrink, another said. Evelyn went quiet, hands clenched. No one believed her, but she knew the truth. Her scars and Baku's steadfast gaze were proof the world would never grasp. On her departure day, Evelyn sat in the rescue helicopter, staring at the sprawling forest below. Then she froze, heart racing. On a high rocky peak, Baku stood, its black fur scarred and patchy, the sunset framing it in a mournful glow. It looked up at her. Evelyn pressed her hand to glass, tears falling freely. She longed to shout her gratitude, but could only wave a weak farewell. In reply, Baku raised its huge arm, waving back gently, a human-like gesture as if it, too, wanted to say goodbye. That image seared into her soul, a silent hero amid the wild, forever out of reach yet always near in her heart. As the helicopter faded into the distance, Evelyn turned away, her chest heavy. The world might forget Baku, but she never would. The friend who gave everything to save her. Thank you for staying until the end of today's story. If it touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the Animal Kisa channel. Join us for more magical journeys between humans and the wild. Share your thoughts below. Even a single line lets us know you're here, listening. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video, where every moment is a miracle